Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. It is Trade Tuesday. I am super excited about this because we're the NFL draft is over. A lot of guys are coming out of the closet when they're talking about their redraft or out of their cave, should say. Snoog's already laughing because I said closet. But hey, I'm excited. I got my ghost ready to go. I don't care what time it is. I'm here. I'm pumped up for this show. And a lot of you guys are as well. We have super chats, Brock, already lined up, and I know we're going to try to break our record. Remind me again, what's our super chat record from last week?
22. So we got to get to 23 here.
Got to get to that MJ of 23. Speaking of MJs, we got the GOAT on the right-hand side. How we doing, Snoog? You ready for this tonight?
I'm doing good. I was excited looking through some of these trades backstage, kind of putting things together with you, just looking at how many different trades we have this time. We did the quarterback show, we did the rookie show with the rookie picks, and now this is kind of a little bit of everything. So I'm excited to see this because I actually just sent out 20 Jerry Jeudy trades before the show because Dad sold me on the Jerry Jeudy hype train. So I'm excited to see if he even makes an appearance in any of these, but I'm in the trade mood. So let's jump into this.
We got a couple of them there, and we're going to jump right into it. Guys, make sure you guys subscribe. We are approaching 4,000 subs. It's been a great process. We appreciate you guys. We're going to reference this several times. So right now, patreon.com/smashaccept. Get in there. That is our Discord with all of our content, everything that we have, how we go about trades, all the advice that you guys need. If you guys use code STATS, you'll get 50% off your first month. We have a super chat already. I mean, this is what it's all about, Brock. Right off the bat, we got 23 questions lined up. I want to get 23 super chats and 23 questions, 46 questions in an hour with in-depth dynasty analysis. So take it over, brother.
Let's do it. And then after I read this, let's go ahead and tell the people some incentives if we do break that record and hit 23, what might be on the line there. So first super chat of the night, kicking us off before we even start. I don't think we've had one of these yet. So appreciate you coming in here, Blue K Prods. 12-team, half-point tight end premium super flex league. One side with Dak, Kincaid, and a late 26 first. Other side with McBride and Darnold. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
I would not trade McBride for that whole side. Trey McBride is a league winner. I am not trading Trey McBride unless you come at me with Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. I need something absolutely elite. In the Discord, I must get a Trey McBride question, 2 or 3 times a day. 99% of the time, I take the McBride side. I mean, we're talking tight end premium. Kincaid in the first, that's still not even close to what McBride is, but the gap between Darnold and Dak isn't really that far. I think Dak is going to put up the points here. So Darnold's a late first. Dak's more like 108. I mean, you're talking about an absolute smash accept here for me for Trey McBride. He's Brock Bowers without the name cachet right now at this point. Like you get him at a discount. He's discount Bowers.
Yeah, I agree with Dad there, especially in tight end premium. I think Dak's a lot better than Darnold. But I
100%.
think the gap between McBride and Kincaid in a late 26-1, like it would need to be this trade for me to do it. It would need to be like a top 5 to 6, top 7, 2027 first and second added in for me to consider this trade. But a late 26-1 doesn't knock my socks off.
I mean, keep trade cut now. I believe Trey McBride is going 15 overall. It's like that 203, 205.
Wow.
Really gone that high in tight end premium. So let's get this show started with our Twitter questions. Again, guys, you guys send these in from Twitter. You send them in from YouTube. You send them in on our Patreon Discord. We're jumping in. Last week, it was 300 plus questions. This week, right up there again. What we're trying to do is give you guys the best insight into trades. If we hit our super chat goal, we'll do 5. We'll give away a basic. That's always the easy one. 10, we'll give away a VIP and a rookie guide. We got rookie guide 3.0, $40 value. So that's $60 value. If we hit 15, we'll give away 2. We hit 20, we'll give away 3. We'll give away a spot in the Smash Accept High Roller 20 League and maybe a little bit of incentive of, the number to Snoog's barber. So you guys can get a sweet low taper mullet as well. So let's get going.
All right, trade one here coming from Michael Hall on Twitter. Got one side, someone we don't see get moved quite often, Jaden Daniels, James Cook, and a 27 first. Other side with Darnold, Gibbs, the 104, and the 111. While Dad's finishing his sip of Ghost, I'm going to throw this one over here to you, Snoog. What do we think?
Yeah, I want the Daniels side all day here. I think Cook and the 27 first cancel out Darnold and the 111 easily. Like, I think the Cook side even wins that. And then I would take Jaden Daniels over Gibson, the 104. I think it's decently close though, but I would definitely take the Daniels side there.
I think the 27 first is basically free in this. Is basically how I looked at it. Is Jahmyr Gibbs, and you don't see these two players. I picked this one out because Mike is a great guy, and you don't see these players traded very often. Jaden Daniels, a lot of people were like, I bought him for the 104 last year. I'm willing to sell him, and I think Gibbs 104, 111. I think you're going to need something more like at least Gibbs 104 Darnold to get to Daniels, and I wouldn't trade Daniels for that, to be honest. I know that's going to sound crazy, but in 12-team Superflex, like all of our trades are, Jaden Daniels is right there at the top. And by the end of the season, likely going to be the 101, because he's only going to be 24. The other guys are going to be turning 29 and 30. So, I mean, he's going to be a top 3 pick. Cook is going to give you solid production. The 27 first here does not belong in this trade. So, if you're trying to work this one out, that 27 class, Snoog and I just did a preview on it. Brock's working on an edit. It's going to be absolutely fire. We just did a Caleb Williams show that came out a couple of days ago. Tomorrow, we're going to have our top 10 value buys. A lot of these guys we're going to reference here, but very difficult to buy Jaden Daniels. This is a cheap one to me.
All right. Trade 2 here coming from Dak Tech over on the Discord. Another 12-team Superflex. We got one side with Jordan Love, the 111 and the 304. Then the other side's got Bijan. Dad, what do we think here with this one? Who do you prefer straight up, the quarterback or the running back? And then how we kind of analyzing this one?
Well, I'm taking Snoog might come at me on this one, but I'm going to actually take Jordan Love here if I'm in a 12-team Superflex, 6-point passing touchdowns. I think you can get more though. Like, I think in actuality, you could probably get that 304 to be something more in the mid-second range. But Snoog, Jordan Love in 2023, 32 touchdowns, second in the league, 4,000 passing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 18.8 fantasy points per game. In 2024, everybody forgets that he gets injured week 1, 24 passing touchdowns, 33 passing yards, 3,300 passing yards, only 1 rushing touchdown with 80 yards, and it dips down to 15.2. They add Matthew Golden. Jordan Love is one of my favorite buys, period. So if I'm doing this one, I want the Love side, but what I'm trying to do is I'm coming back and say, hey, brother, let's do a 27-1-2 swap on top of that. Let's get something else going into this particular trade, and I think, Snoog, help me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think Bijan has phenomenal value. The quarterback position is something that I'm trying to lock down. Talk to me a little bit about this one.
I know why you like the Love side, because you're going to get RJ Harvey at the 111 potentially in some leagues, or Caleb Johnson, and you're going to get
111 is still a really nice spot.
You're going to get an RB and Jordan Love. I think it all depends on who's there at the 111. For me, if I can get a Buka or Loveland, for me, I would do it. But yeah. I kind of want to keep Bijan here. I think I like having the first-round starter pick asset, and I like having a running back that can score 350-plus fantasy points any given year. But I can see the vision with the Jordan Love side, especially if you're rebuilding and like this is the right kind of path for you to take, because Love has crazy upside if he hits his ceiling. Like, he's a gunslinging machine.
Even up, I think it should be Love in like the 105. What I'm saying is I really want the Love side, but we got to tweak it a little bit, and I think you come back and you say, if it's Love 105 where I know I can get something, the 111 is nice, but I feel like that 304 has to be an early second or a mid-second. Super chats just started flying in there because people say, hey, we're going to talk Bijan, we're going to talk Love, we're going to drop super chats, and nothing. My guy here, we got one of your questions coming up later, but it's some Notorious time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the super chat here, Notorious. Got a 12-team Superflex PPR rebuilding team. Would you guys send AJ Brown for Garrett Wilson straight up? You guys are the GOATs. Appreciate you all. Please donate if I win anything. So G Willie or AJB, Snoog said he likes the Garrett Wilson side. Rebuilding, Dad, do you agree?
I do too, but I would probably try to get like a Jalen Wright thrown in or a Jordan Mason or some kind of, add-on, or at least maybe a 27-2-3 swap. Because you're saying, hey, brother, I'm rebuilding, you're contending. why don't we do a 2-3 swap here? Because AJ Brown is technically worth a little bit more than Garrett Wilson. You're going to be a contender. That's going to be late. I'm going to be a rebuilder. It's going to be early. And then I love doing that on a rebuilding team, because if it isn't bottom, if it's in 210 to 212, you're going to make out considerably. So you're going to move yourself up. And when you're rebuilding, and guys forget about this, the other guy's the guy that has pressure. Rebuilding, you have no pressure to make this trade up until September. So you got the time. He'll make that trade because you could say, I'm going to talk to somebody else. If we're not in on this one, I'm ready to move.
All right. And then Super Chat 3 here coming from Alex Roth. Appreciate it. We got another one here with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels in the 202. Other side with Jordan Love, Brian Robinson, and then a first next year and a 27 first. Without context, Dad, I know you like doing, if it's late, lean this side, mid, lean this side, early, lean this side. Does that change anything here, or are we just taking Jaden?
The 202 really sways it for me. Brian Robinson is the epitome of polishing up a turd sandwich to make it look a little bit better. But I just got done gushing about Jordan Love. The 26 and 27 first. This is the way I look at this. If this is a mid to early on both of those, I do like the Love side. If it's projecting towards top 3 or 4. If it's mid to late, anything 106 to 112, I'm really leaning the Jaden Daniels side, because at the 202, I think the 202 and a 26 first, if it's late, are very similar. I like what I can get there. So then it becomes basically Jordan Love and a 27 first plus Brian Robinson. So give me Jaden Daniels all day long.
I want the Jordan Love side. If I can get any of my top 12 quarterbacks and 2 firsts on top to trade a Jaden Daniels, I'm doing it all day. And we get that in this case. I am like the least excited, least loving person when it comes to Brian Robinson ever. I mean, like if you just look at my Twitter and look at what I've said, you can tell. But they added nobody. Like he's still just going to be a guy that scores a bunch of touchdowns, and he's going to be like a feasible high-end flex RB2 type of player. So it's like whatever, 202. But the 2 firsts on top of a Jordan Love, if this is especially in like a 6-point passing, Jordan Love has a crazy high ceiling, not one like Jaden Daniels, but if I can get 2 firsts to go polish up my roster and go get a Nico Collins, an Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Brian Thomas Jr. type of player, I think that this makes my team a lot better than just having Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, context definitely matters there. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at our 4th super chat here. Doof12 recently just joined the Discord. Love what you guys are doing! ! Doof, we appreciate that. That's what we're doing this for. Dr. Bigums, we know he always gets involved in here. He says Trade Tuesday is the best day of the week, and this is really we get excited about this day because I talked about it after the last show, and I was talking with Brock, and I was like, it really felt like you guys were like low key in here. Not to sound weird, but there was so much interaction of guys messaging me on the Discord, the comments in the live feed. Like you guys are totally interactive with this. You guys are starting to buy into it. Right now we're 10 minutes in and we have 700 listeners. So you guys are really jumping in there. We really appreciate all the love and support, and we're trying to give you the best content we can. So let's take it over.
Yes, sir. Trade 3 here coming from Just Incredible on the Discord. We got one side with Garrett Wilson and Rashee Rice. Other side, well, I'm assuming it might be Russ. Is it Garrett Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Other side with Dart Igbuka and a third. Yeah, that one's
it's been waiting there.
Ring it up.
That's
Ring it up.
Need more cowbell. Let's go. I mean, I think
cowbell by a first.
I don't think I would trade Rice or Wilson for Dart Igbuka in a 26 third. He's in the Discord, a super awesome guy. I wanted to kind of give a little bit of love to Justin. That's a great trade. We've worked through quite a few trades in the Discord together, so appreciate you, brother.
All right, we got our 5th super chat here coming from Darren Bowling.
And
appreciate
6.
it, Darren. And we got a 6th one next. A 10-team super flex PPR. Should he trade Godwin, Downs, and B-Rob for AJ Brown?
Bunch of turd sandwiches.
You're polishing it up just for a cowbell, baby. I love that one. Darren, that's a crush. You absolutely smashed that trade. Dr. Bigums is back.
Dr. Bigums is back. 12-team, half-point tight end premium. We got McBride and Golden. Other side with a couple of Jets, Garrett Wilson and Brees. Snoog, what do we think on this one?
I want Garrett and Brees all day here. I think Garrett and Brees are so much more valuable than Golden. McBride's the most valuable player in this trade. but Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall are significantly more valuable than Matthew Golden.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting part, Snoog, is when you get into, and I know you have teams like this too, right? Where you don't want to have too many guys on the Jets, and that's a perfectly normal thing. However, you try to get a Trey McBride, a Brock Bowers. There are only 2 guys that are league winners at the tight end position that are high end, and then there's Kittle. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's McBride, Bowers, and Kittle, and that's it. So if I am a team that I have, and I do have opportunities like this where I have Garrett Wilson as my wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6, I would make this offer, but I would want like a second on top of that, maybe a James Conner or something like that, because McBride is really that good. He's that much of a difference maker, where Wilson, he finishes wide receiver 15 to 17 every year. You know, Breece is coming off a down year. I like the Jets side. I think we could polish up that McBride side and get a little bit more. And if you're willing to do that, I mean, I think if you get a little bit added, Matthew Golden's going to have a fantastic season. So I think you're going to win out on the McBride side as a positional differential.
All right. Super chat number 7 coming in here. So almost to the halfway point there at 10. I believe we got a VIP and a rookie guide coming out. So appreciate you guys. 10-team super flex, half point PPR, no tight end premium. For a contending team, would you prefer Mark Andrews or Njoku in a second? Appreciate the roster review, Snoog. So Snoog, kick this one over here to you. Andrews or Njoku in a second for a contending team?
Yeah, I would take Njoku there. We and Dad were talking about it backstage. Joe Flacco is going to be the Browns starting quarterback. What does that mean? Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku are going to be absolutely balling. The Browns defense still stinks. They're going to be top 5 in pass attempts yet again for a 3rd straight year. And Njoku's like 3-4 years younger than Mark Andrews and doesn't have the injury. So I would definitely pay a 27-second for either of them, but I would prefer Njoku.
Yeah, and I think in the Discord, I was telling him Njoku too. I think Njoku's 2 years younger than Andrews, but at the same time, you know, he missed weeks 2 through 4. Week 5, his snap share was low. He was kind of working himself back. Same with week 6. When he had 80+% snap share, tight end 1, 7, 18, 4, 2, 2, 5. Set it and forget it. Like,
yeah, he was so good.
Honestly, people don't realize how good he actually is. When you can get him for a random 27-second, I am smashing that all day long. And he's a great buy low. You know, I think we talk about the tight ends. I was just talking about how many elite level ones are, but there's guys that I like David Njoku, Evan Ingram, Tucker Kraft. You know, there's some guys that you can buy for a second that are going to get you to the promised land. They're going to at least maintain you there until you can move up. Mike Honcho.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the super chat, Mike. We got people already trading these 28 picks. It's crazy. We got a 28
they
late
just started,
first.
right? Sleeper's like, here's some new toys. And you're like, oh, I got a 28 first now. It's like when you're a little kid, and my mom used to say, I used to spend my money like it was burning a hole in my pocket. If you're trading 28 first now, you have no patience.
Yeah, honestly. Would you package that late first and Jack Beck for Tyreek Hill? Dad, what do you think here?
No, I am keeping the Jack Beck side. I have, honestly, I've taken about 40 or 50 questions on 28 first. Majority of them are people saying, if I buy Kittle, if I buy Adams, if I buy Hill, if I buy Kamara, you know, this pick isn't for multiple years, but then I'm a contender. But if you have to use that 28 first to get a Tyreek Hill, then you're not actually a contender, because when Tyreek Hill goes down, Jack Beck value is going to be very stable. That 28 first is only going to increase. I always tell guys, it's too early to try to fill in your roster. You know, it's too early to try to fill in your starting lineups. Don't trade 28 first yet. Snoog?
Yep, I'm not trading 28 first as well. Don't do it. It's a way to set yourself up for a big distraction and a big trap.
Snoog, there it is. The next one, there it is. This is what we're talking about. Go ahead, Brock.
I'll go ahead and read it real quick. We got Shadow coming in with a super chat. Appreciate it, Shadow. So this is like, I think you had a tweet about this, Snoog. Hampton, presumably 102, 103, moving back, getting Judkins, and then a second and a 27 first. Ring her up.
That's cowbell.
We were talking about before we jumped on here. I told Snoog, I'm the biggest Hampton guy there is. Like I was huge on Hampton. I believe I drafted 8 shares. I've traded 3 of them already. And most of them I've gotten RJ Harvey in a 27 first. Just hedging the bet. You know what I mean? Like we all think we know what's going to happen. But I mean, if someone comes to me today and they offer me a 27 first and Ibuka for Travis Hunter, I'm probably going to sell it. If it's Hampton and Judkins, Hampton and Harvey, give me that 27 first to insulate here, because every year 50% of that first round busts. Like you're not going to hit much higher than you have in the last couple of years. So I would love this trade personally for Quinshon Judkins. The second is just honestly the second it makes it closer. The 27 first makes it an absolute smash.
Yeah. All right, back on track here with trade number 4 coming from Lil March 812 with the Patreon. We got one side with Lamar, Tyreek, and Derrick Henry, and a 26th third. Other side with Jaden Daniels, Tank Dell, and the 203. Wow.
Yeah,
So
that's a free Tyreek Hill.
Daniels and Lamar are the same. Value-wise. And now if I'm rebuilding, give me Jaden Daniels. He's 24, Lamar's 29. Like that's kind of what you're looking at. Hill's probably worth very close to the 203, and Dell, you're getting a free Derrick Henry here. Like this is an all-in move that didn't cost you much. The fact that you did not have to give up another late first asset, I think this makes an
That's what I was gonna say.
You crush.
Yeah, you don't have to give up any firsts, and you get still a young foundational piece in Lamar. He's a foundational asset. And then you get 2 elite veterans that could both finish top 5 at their position if they're fully healthy and play 17 games. So that's a banger move.
All right, next one here, coming from a Smash Accept member, not a member, but one of us, you could say, Al Calo, coming from the Patreon. We got one side with Fields and Worthy, other side with Tua, Tyreek, and Taj Brooks. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
So we have Fields. I'm taking Fields and Worthy all day. I mean, I think Fields is going to be. I just did my redraft, for May, top 32 quarterbacks. I have Tua at 22, and I got Fields at 11. So now it becomes: would you rather have Worthy or Tyreek Hill and Taj Brooks? And it's Worthy. No doubt about it, guys. Al is doing a room in the Discord. You said it. He's one of our newest members. Great guy on Twitter. Make sure you follow him at CaloFF. If you guys want to get in on the Discord, and a lot of you guys have been asking for it, here's your shot right here. 50% off your first month using code Calo. Especially if you guys are supportive of his, use his code. Make sure you get that in there, and we'll see you in there. Like I know a lot of you guys have been saying, I'm waiting to start. I'm going to wait until June. I'm going to wait until July. I'm going to wait until August. You're seeing guys that are making trades that are making money now. They're making these trades where Snoog and I are giving them roster reviews. We're giving them ways to improve their roster, and now they're finding ways to get ahead in May, as opposed to waiting until June, July, August, when everybody else starts trying to figure these things out.
All right, and before we jump into this next one, we are at 9 super chats so far. And if we hit one more, we're going to give away that VIP Patreon and version 3 of our rookie guide. And that put us halfway toward giving away a spot in Smash Accept 20. So hopefully we can see a few more of those and give back to you guys. But getting back on track, trade 6 here, coming from Christian May over on Twitter. We got one side with Cortland Sutton, Chase Brown, AJ Brown. Do we know a Brown here?
Give me 1 second.
I'm assuming Chase Brown, just based off the other side.
It is
maybe.
Chase Brown, yeah.
It is Chase Brown, because Christian says, hey, listen to your pod regularly. Love y'all. Give me some ideas on some of these trades. And he sent me like 6 of them. So it was like Travion Henderson or this. And I got the 27 first here. And he's got trade fever. So I told him we'd get one of his trades on here. So, yes, it is Chase Brown.
Hell yeah. Well, that side's looking real good. There's a 26 second on that side too. Other side with Kraft, Tyrone Tracy, and the 310. Dad, I'll kick this one over here to you.
Snoog, can we give him a cowbell?
Yeah, give it a
Let's give him a cowbell. That's an easy one. I mean,
Sutton just made our
Sutton's going to be
on
on our buys. I mean, guy finished from weeks 8 to 18 as the wide receiver 7, and he's being drafted somewhere around wide receiver 28. Like he's an absolute value for an early second. I would not trade Chase Brown, who's I know Statman's working on a thread, but Chase Brown's one of now out of the draft, probably the biggest winner out of the entire running back, landscape. He's worth more than Kraft, Tracy, and the 310 alone, in my opinion. So I think I would value him right now. I've bumped him up to like 108. After Judkins, give me Chase Brown over anything in the draft.
All right, trade 7 here coming from B Ramirez over on Twitter. We got one side with Justin Jefferson and a second in 2027. Other side with Devon Achane, Kyle Pitts, Dontavian Wicks, and a 26 first. Polish that bad boy up.
Yeah. Honestly, I dampened it a little bit on that one. I kind of did a little bit of, put my silencer mode on the cowbell. The 27 second, I don't know how you talked him into getting that in there. I mean, the only way, Snoog, even if this is, I love making trades like this because even if that's the 26-101, you still want. Dontavian Wicks is a cut candidate in Dynasty. Pitts is worth a late second. Achane, 104, but this does not close the gap. You need more. I think if Wicks was someone more like something that was worth an early second, like a Tyreek Hill, like a Ricky
like a
Purcell,
Pickens,
I think you'd get
Ricky.
Yeah. Then I think you're getting close, but I still might not do it. Jefferson is a cornerstone foundational asset. So,
yep.
That's a smash.
Yep.
All right. Trade 8 coming from Notorious, who had a super chat earlier. Got a trade in here as well. We got one side with Jordan Love and Kyron Williams. Other side with Jalen Waddle, Michael Penix, and Hollywood Brown. You want to throw that up here, Dad? We got Love and Kyron. Other side, Waddle, Penix, and Hollywood. Snoog, what do we think here with this one?
That's another cowbell for Jordan Love side for me all day long. Day long. I'd take him over Waddle and Penix straight up. Free Kyron.
I agree. We've talked a lot about Michael Penix lately. He's a buy at the right price. He's a sell at the right price. Snoog, when you compare him to the 2024 class, big time throw rate, number 1. Turnover worthy plays, number 2, only behind Jaden Daniels as the lowest. Average depth of target, number 1. If we could start to see some of like his deep ball throws were phenomenal. His when your ADOT is 10.6, like he's getting the ball downfield. I think we could see a pretty big season from him. If you just extrapolate what he did in 3 games, you're looking at well over 4,500 yards. He ran the ball for a couple of touchdowns. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he's going to match the same upside as Jordan Love. And I prefer Kyron over Waddle, even though I would try to trade Kyron once I made this trade. So super chat number 10 just rolled in. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We got Notorious coming back in. He said, sorry.
Love
and
Kyle
Williams.
Williams. Okay.
Not Kyron.
All right. Okay.
That makes sense then. I want the left side.
So did it change anything for you?
He's like, no. Man, it does for me. I lean more towards
sleep
Penix.
on Penix.
If I can trade Waddle for a first after that, I think I definitely would. But that changes it a little bit, but I think it still leans towards the other side.
Not a big Penix guy.
We hit the threshold for 10. I'm peeking up above this long one. So we did get the VIP and the rookie guide off the bat. And then if we get 10 more, we're giving that spot away.
5 more we'll give away too. Yeah, let's 15. Do it.
4 more. We're at 11. This is 11 right here. What 4
All
more.
right. Appreciate the super chat, Jay Frizzle. Got 10-team super flex tight end premium. Got his whole team here. So Caleb, McCarthy, Goff, and Geno at quarterback. QB room is set. Damn, running backs are set. Bijan, CMC, Achane, receivers, Marv, Tay, DJ Moore, Jameson, and then tight ends, Ferguson and Kincaid. He's got the 101, 111, a second, and a fourth. Any trade recommendations? So, Snoog, based off of this team, QBs look good, running backs look good, tight ends shaky, receiver could use some depth. What are we doing here with those picks?
So what I'm doing is I think wide receiver we can get better. I'm taking Achane. I'm flipping him for a foundational wide receiver. Alad McConkey, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, someone of that caliber. Then what I'm going to do is draft Genty with the 101, stack Bijan, CMC, and Genty. I'm going to take that 111. I'm going to probably turn that plus the 209 into like a Devontae Smith type of wide receiver, or I'm trying to buy low on rush. I'll throw 111, 209 in the 26 second at Rashee Rice, just something like that. I'm just taking those picks and trying to get that. Or if Ibuka falls to 11, I'm taking him there, or Harvey
He
Johnson.
said it's pick
whoever
9,
it is.
actually. He said it's 109, not 111.
Oh,
So
then
Ibuka
yeah,
probably should be there.
I'd smash Ibuka in that situation then. Or you could do the opposite, and you could take a running back, and then you could figure out a wide receiver, maybe with Genti, turn him into CD or BGJ plus or Amon-Ra St. Brown plus, and then you can take the 111 and get Harvey, get Caleb Johnson, get one of those type of guys or whatever.
So 10 teams, Superflex tight end premium. We're talking 10 teams, so we want studs. We're also talking, Snoog, the number one need of this team is the tight end position. So, I mean, if I can get Kittle,
I didn't even realize his tight ends are horrible.
If you can get, I would package Kincaid, the 109, the 209, and try to get McBride, see if you can get, kind of go in that area. If not, I'm going to trade the 109 and, probably Devon A-Chain and try to get a Kittle plus another running back in there, like try to tear down there, do a little bit of a way that I can work out a trade where I'm going to increase my probability of having a better tight end, because you have 2 tight ends that are kind of in that fringe 12 to 15 range. It's only 10 teams. Quarterback position, I might try to address that as well. I think you have 4 guys there, a lot of different opportunities to make trades here. We love doing these as quickly as possible to try to help you out. But I think Goff is fine. McCarthy is fine. Caleb's going to be there, but I think I'm trying to use this to tier up. So Jay Frizzle, if you're on YouTube and you're not on Twitter, hit me up in the DMs on YouTube. I'll send you my email address. If you're on Twitter, hit us up. We'll diagnose it a little bit further for you. We just hit 15. Guys just started rolling in. So let's see what we can do about these.
Yeah, this is a great question here coming from Doof. He said, we talk rebuild a lot. What is the mindset on number of years a rebuild should take? Dad's throwing up the deuces.
Yeah.
Snoog, do you agree? 2 years?
2 years max. I'm a big 1 year rebuild guy though. I literally rip the thing down to bare naked bones, and then I'll trade every single rookie pick and turn it all into a top tier contender within a year. I do that every single rebuild.
That's a retool. If it's 1 year, rebuild is like, depends on what your league is. I mean, a complete rebuild, stripping it down to the studs, takes 2 years. And when you do that, the ones that I've done, 95% hit rate, they make the playoffs in 2 years. The ones that I've personally done, I've won a majority of the leagues within 2 years, because it's just strip it down, build it up. And it's a matter of what the class is. Snoog and I covered the strength of the 26 class is going to be running backs. Strength of the 27, you're going to get elite quarterbacks and wide receivers. So the better you plan, the better it's going to be. Christian May, for the love of the game, $2. Appreciate the love of appreciate it. Love the pod. Christian Amador, same thing. If you have a question,
he
down
dropped
below,
this question. He did.
Where's this question?
2
right
messages
above.
below there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there is one above.
It's
the same message? It's the same message.
I would receive Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, a 27 first and 26 second, and you give up Jordan Love, Breece Hall, Travion Henderson, and the 26 first. So I look at it like,
I'll pop it up on there.
Yeah,
there it is.
So you receive Joe Burrow, Saquon in first, send Love, Hall, Henderson, and a 26 first. What do you think, Snoop? That's a lot to diagnose.
Yeah,
it is. So the way I looked at it is, I think you could go ahead and just say Burrow and Love in the 26 first cancel out, and then you're looking at it like Saquon and the 27 first for Breece Hall and Travion Henderson. I think that's kind of a fair way to kind of break it down and assess it. I think you get a lot younger with the Jordan Love side.
Yeah, I
don't think I would trade Breece or Henderson for a 27 first straight up. I would prefer both running backs to that. And I think I would take the Jordan Love side. It's close though.
I was looking at it like Burrow and Saquon probably equal Hall, Love in the 26 first. Because I think you're going to have to tier up there. So then it's Henderson versus the 27 first and 26 second versus I'm slightly leaning the Burrow side myself. In 0.5, Barkley's going to be a lot more valuable than where Henderson is in Love. That's a good trade though, Christian. I mean, I think that's a matter of your need. If it's 6-point passing and Joe Burrow's going to put you over the top, I'm more than willing to do that. And I like the fact that it has the 27 first. It stems a lot on what you think of Henderson. If you think Henderson's going to be the guy, that side's got a lot of juice as well.
Next one coming in is from C. Herda. We got a 10-team super flex, the 107 or a mid to late 26 first. Sorry, this the format's a little wonky here.
26 second, yeah, and a late 26. So 26 first, mid to late, 26 second, mid to late, and a fourth rounder. I'm taking the 107. I don't really care about if it's mid to late. I think the 25 class is better than the 26 class. You're at 107. You're going to get Quinshon Judkins, Cam Ward, or RJ Harvey. Depending, I mean, Harvey's going to go 8, but you're either going to get Ward or Judkins. I prefer either of those over anything you're going to get in the mid to late in 2026. Snoog, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you there, but
so you're going to give up Judkins? If I came to you today and Judkins, because Judkins is there. I'm not. 9 times
I was
10.
so confused by the way it was worded out, like the L8. I was like, what the hell is that? No, yeah.
This is that trade on the clock where you confuse a guy where you're like, oh, I'm going to give you a first and a second for a first this year. But it's not the same. It's like if it's mid to late, you're talking about getting Quinshon Judkins, and he's going to be worth more than that in a year.
All right. Next one coming in from Donovan Dericho from Super Chat. We got a 10-team Super Flex start 9. London 26, 27 first, both late for Bijan and Jonathan Taylor. His team right now, he's got Lamar, May, and Bryce at QB. Henderson, Judkins, B-Rob, Scat at running back. CD and Neighbors, Puka, London, and McBride. So receivers are a bit deep. Running backs are a bit young. Would you trade London in both firsts for Bijan and Jonathan Taylor to stack those running backs? Snoog, what do you think?
That's definitely a hefty pay up, but your wide receivers are so nasty. I think Bijan and JT would put you over the top.
Do you need both? Could you just keep the 27 pick, take out JT, just do London and a 26 for Bijan?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I honestly kind of like the idea of keeping London in the firsts and just going and buying CMC and Kamara for cheap and stacking them two with Henderson and Judkins and keeping all those, because you don't want to have to go get more foundational wide receivers. Like once you already have them, like you shouldn't trade them. Same with McBride. Like you should use seconds and stuff like that to go get Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, CMC, because you already have 2 foundational running backs in Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got Lamb, Neighbors, Puka, and London. That's set it and forget it. Like I'm with Snoog here. Is you just drafted Henderson and Judkins, and both of those have Snoog and I have them as top 12 dynasty running backs. So I think this is one of those situations, Donovan, and I do it all the time, where I just want to show how sexy my roster is and be like, yo, I got Bijan in here instead of this. And I don't think it's required in this particular one. If you want, offer your 26 and 27 firsts plus Scatabo for Bijan, go that route. But I think in a 10-teamer, those picks in 26 and 27 are going to be worth quite a bit. Jonathan Taylor is not a guy that I'm actively going out there unless this is a point per carry league. So I'm leaning towards the London side and be a little bit patient with it.
All right. And then that was the message that we covered off there already. So
perfect.
Next super chat's going to be Shadow coming back in. Appreciate it, Shadow. Said if his quarterbacks are Nix and Penix, what could he add on top of them to get Caleb or May? So we'll say, what about in 25 pick value, maybe 26, 27 pick value, and then a few players, Dad? What do we think? How can we get there?
So I'm keeping Bo Nix right now. Again, I referenced, I have him as my QB7 for 2025. Like they for just redraft? Added Harvey. Yeah, for redraft. So I think he's the most underrated guy that you can possibly get. I think, again, I have Caleb as my quarterback 12. I have May as my quarterback 18 for the season. So if I'm doing this, I'm trying to trade Penix for Caleb. And if I think the gap there, I would throw Penix in my 27 first. And I know we don't talk about trying to throw 27 first out there. Penix in a 26 first and a 26 second for Caleb. Snoog, would you smash that? Trade your 26 1 and 2. I think that's the gap, and I think I'm very comfortable doing that. I think May's going to be fine, but I think we're going to wait a year. Caleb is not going to – his breakout is imminent. It's going to happen. I think May's going to have a really nice season, and then he's going to break out in 2026.
I agree, and we actually covered this on the Caleb show. Is there was a ton of Penix Caleb trades, like people turning Penix plus into Caleb Williams for first, for second, stuff like that. So that's definitely what I'd be trying to do.
Yo, there we go. We got another one.
Yes, sir. Super chat number 19. So one away from 20. Coming from Jamie Angel. Appreciate the super chat. He said, "You guys are the best. Thanks for all the advice."
There we go. Hey, hitting that one for you for sure. We are one away from 20, and we are only halfway into the show. All right. We got this on there. Hit that like button, guys. Jamie's saying, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit it going. I'm going to try to get back up to there are so many comments. Getting back up to the top of this page is literally like
trade number 9 around trade.
Yeah,
number
I know.
9.
Like, man, we might have to cut this one short.
Another
we'll keep
one.
it going. All right, we'll hit that 20 here. Here we go.
All right, trade 9 coming from Snoog over on the Patreon. We got one side with Josh Jacobs, Malik Neighbors, a 27 first and a 26 second. Other side with Jamar Chase and Breece Hall. Two guys you don't see move that often, Dad. What do we think here?
Yo, I'm smashing the Malik Neighbors side so hard. We are changing his name from Snoog to Snoobay because that is some fancy type trades right there. I take that one all day. Love it. That's whenever you can. Yeah. There's no gap. The gap is less than a first between Chase and Neighbors, and at some point, I will sit on this for sure. But Neighbors is going to pass Chase, whether at some point this year, just because. He's got such an elite.
It's just based on age, though. Like in the next two seasons, he's not going to outscore him. Yeah.
No, but I think 25 versus, we are one away 21. From breaking our record. Yeah. 21. He's the youngest wide receiver. He's the youngest wide receiver. He's the youngest wide receiver in the NFL. He's 21 years old. He's not even 22. Here we go.
Bigum's back. DJ Moore or RJ Harvey. I hear it, Dad.
Snoog doesn't want this, but it's RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey is going to smash this year. He's going to go up in value. I think you can, Snoog, DJ Moore is a low-key buy. I think you could get Harvey in a third for DJ Moore in a second. Now, that would make it work that way. DJ Moore, everybody's writing him off with the Luther Burden pick. They're like, oh, he's done. You're like, no, he's not. He's going to get traded or he's going to be the wide receiver 1. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then we got Jamie back. He said, would you give up Igbuka for JMO and the 207? It'd be either Trey Harris or Luther Burden there. So JMO and one of those or Igbuka.
No. I want Igbuka.
You're getting Harris or Burden on top of that. JMO over 1,000 yards last year. Over 1,000 yards. The only top 20 wide receiver. Guy. The only top 20 wide receiver with less than 90 targets. He's a guy that's going to put up points. Harris could I honestly, Harris could be better than Igbuka. Like that's
this year.
It for sure, but I'm saying I'm doing it. He's saying no. We're keeping it going. Yo, here we go. He's got the Prestige Worldwide sticker here. Let's talk about Mark.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the super chat here, Mark, aka Jabin P33. He said, "Bring on the Smash Accept 20 giveaway." So we hit that 20. Not only did we hit that 20,
and Doof
came in to set our record.
Doof,
that deserves
that cowbell, but Doof, that's your third one. You put us over the top. Breaking records here. We were talking about, I said it backstage. I was like, yo, we got 23 trades we're going to cover. Let's try to get 23 super chats. Snoog, let's crank these bad boys because we just had our French trade from Snoobay. Now we're going to move on to trade 10 from Connor.
Let's go. We got trade 10 from Connorama 12 over on the Patreon. Jordan Love, the 104 and a 26 second. Other side with Tua, JT, the 205 and the 212. You're making noises over there, Dad. What side do we like?
Well, Snoog and I have been talking about buying Jordan Love the whole time. I mean, I think Tua's fine, but the fact that you're throwing the 104 on this side, the 104 in Love is considerably more, and then you got him to throw you a 26 second. I can't condone anybody buying Tua and JT for that price. I think the 104 is an elite level prospect of Travis Hunter or, Tet McMillan, something you're going to get that's real nice. So I can't see any reason why you would do this, but hey, let's go with 24. Another great show, y'all. Awesome advice from Maine Max. There we go. Let's hit up.
Appreciate the super chat there, Maine. Trade number 11. Next one coming from Salsi Dalsi from the Patreon. We got one side with Rashi Rice and Emeka Igbuka. Other side with CMC Rome and Isaac Garendo found himself in there. So, Dad, which side do we like on this one?
Snoog, which side you cowbell in here?
I'm cowbell on the
Rice and Igbuka? Yeah. I think Rome's lost some value here. So I mean, I think I see what you're doing there with CMC, but the Rice and Ibuka aside, you get yourself a foundational wide receiver with Rice. I'm not a big Ibuka guy, but that definitely he's increased in value. Rome slightly decreased a little bit in value. So I see it.
All right. Trade 12 coming from Goron from the Patreon. We got one side with Khalil Shakir and a 27 first and Worthy and a 27 second. So you think, the 1-2 swap here is worth it, or would you just keep the pick and the points there with Shakir Snoog? What do we think?
I'd take the first side and I'd flip Shakir for basically like any second plus I can get, or like someone I like Sutton, Adams, someone of that caliber in that like mid-second range if I could get it. I just don't care for Shakir, and I think the most valuable piece in this trade is the 27 first.
Yeah. Win, lose, or draw. If you're rebuilding, you're contending, you're trying to add this 27 first. If you're contending, Shakir's going to put up solid, depth points for you, and you get the 27 first, which will be worth more than Worthy. The only way I'm not making this trade is if that 27 first is late, and the other side, the 27 second is early. And I keep getting harassed on this on Twitter, on YouTube. You can't project those picks. Yes, you can. You can look at what there's the core assets. If you guys don't know about, assessing rosters, check out one of our rebuild shows. Snoog and I really break down. We look at the core level assets. We look at the picks. We look at the ages. There's so many different things that come into play where you can make trades, but you have to hit crazy home runs to get into the right spot.
All right. Next one here, trade 13 coming from Jaden from the Patreon. We got one side with Marv, who looks like he put on a couple pounds there. He's looking a bit swollen in that presser. Along with Marv, you're getting Jainty and the 301. Other side with CD and the 103. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
I want Lamb 103. As much as I love Genty, Lamb's worth more than Genty. And then Marv 103 is close. But I mean, I think the gap, I have Marv worth the 102. Snoog, I mean, if this is Lamb and Hampton or Tet or Hunter, that's an elite level spot. How much more do you have? Do you have Genty over Lamb yet? I do not. I don't think that's in our realm of possibility. But for me, the gap between Lamb and Genty is bigger than the gap between Marv and the 103, because I think Tet's going to put up 1,200 yards as a rookie, and I'm taking him at 103.
Yeah, I guess I kind of want the Lamb side too here. Lamb's going to have like 1 million targets and like 1,700 yards this year, especially now that Pickens can actually like draw some attention away from him and he could just feast out of the slot. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm buying him everywhere I can. I've been trying so hard, and people just don't want to sell.
I haven't gotten a single share.
He's a hard person to buy because it's not even like I can't like pay for him. People are literally just like, he's going to break out this year. I'm not selling him. And it's like, you're right. That's why I'm trying to buy him.
That's why you want him.
So this is an even trade. It's a like pick your side. We talked about that AJ Brown, Judkins versus Travion Garrett deal that I was doing. It's just a pick your poison here. But I mean, if you really like Amarion Hampton and you take him at 3, I think, him and Genty, there's going to be a gap there, but Lamb's always going to be worth more than Marv, no matter what.
I was just going to ask you, Dad, if there's bonuses for running backs, say running backs 0.25 per carry, maybe they get a little bit of a bonus for a big rush or something. Would you sway the Genty side if that's the case? And if the 103 wasn't Hampton in this situation?
Well, because if there's a running back bonus, the 102 is going to be Hampton.
Exactly.
So I'm very big on Tet, being a foundational wide receiver. So I'm kind of leaning towards the 2 there. So, all right, here we go.
Trade 14 coming from Joaquin Fernandez over on Twitter. We got Jacobs in the 109 or the 104. So are you moving back kind of out of that top 7 range and picking up the 109 and Jacobs? Snoog, what do we think on this one?
Yeah, if I can get Josh Jacobs and Emeka Egbuka, I think that's a great 2-for-1 trade, especially you're getting a rock solid RB1 and a wide receiver 1 for the future with Baker Mayfield, who could be a top 20 guy. It's not like, to me, if you're getting Hunter, McMillan, Hampton here, it's not like you're fleecing the guy, but I think you're getting 2 really good assets where you're minimizing risk and you're also getting good as a contender, and you're still staying young with the wide receiver or tight end, whoever you take at the 109.
Yeah, I'm taking the 109 as well. The only way I would consider this, and this might sound a little bit backwards, is if I'm rebuilding and I'm saying, you know what, no one's giving me a 26 first for Jacobs anywhere. I want to make sure I get Tet or Hunter, so I have myself a foundational wide receiver to tier up to. But I'm taking Jacobs 109 here.
All right, next one coming in from FF Bird Gang. Recognize the name over on Twitter. We got one side with the 107, which ended up being Judkins. Other side with the 109, Isaiah Likely, and a late 26-2. Dad, do we agree with what Snoog's saying? Are you cowbelling this, or which side do we like?
I'm not cowbelling it, but this is one where Twitter was saying it was kind of crazy. They're like, oh, you're adding all this capital, but the gap between 107 and 109, because I think Harvey's going to go 108. It's like Likely. I don't care about Isaiah Likely on my dynasty teams. I'm just using that as an asset. Plus the late 26 first or 26 second. I want Judkins wherever I can get him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that we just got 2 more super chats in there. So
if you're relying on Isaiah Likely to be anything on your dynasty roster, then you should probably rebuild or fix your team.
Yeah, he should be your tight end too, just to put in on bye weeks.
All right. Next super chat coming from JJ Barenio. Appreciate it, JJ. He said, hey guys, in a start 11, 12-team super flex, he traded away Harvey for a pretty early 26 first, Pollard and Spears. How did I do? His name is Keebers on Discord. Thank you. So he's got the Tennessee backfield, and should be an early 26 first. Harvey on the other side. Dad, what do we think here?
Yeah, and I answer this one in the chat with Dad section. Guys, when you join the Patreon, we have different sections where we do things. There's chat with Jad, chat with Snoog, and we have expedited response time. So like there is no one in the industry that's giving a guaranteed 4-hour response time. Snoog and I are doing that in that VIP section. So if you guys join those and you want quick answers, if you're more relaxed and you want the basic, we're still going to answer your questions. Snoog, I'm taking the 26 first side because you get the insulation of Pollard, who I think could be a flex or maybe a RB2 with not much coming in there. So I think the 26 first is worth more than Harvey. So you get that extra pick. Why not?
Yeah, that's how I see it too. And I think if one of Pollard or Spears get hurt, the other one's gonna pop off big time.
Better.
Like they're both pretty good. Like they're gonna be in an offense where they're gonna probably catch a lot of passes, be playing from behind, all that good stuff. So I like that trade.
All right. Next one coming in from Oscar. Appreciate it, Oscar, aka Lard Boy in the Discord, I assume. We got a 12-team super flex, 0.75 tight end premium, 0.25 rushing attempt. This sounds like a smash accept type standards or scoring. So he's rebuilding. He traded Achane for a 106 to 109. I'm not
something in 26 for between the 106 and 109. He's projecting it.
Oh, okay. So okay, mid to late 26 first plus Trey Harris. Did he screw up? Dad, what do we think here?
I think you did sell a little bit on the low side. I think Achane is to me worth the 103, 104 in this class. So I think you gave up a little bit, but I think Trey Harris has a lot of upside. So if Trey Harris puts up 1,000 yards, you're not going to worry about this trade next year. But as of right now, you're rebuilding. So, I mean, you got that in there, but I would love to see taking Achane and getting a foundational wide receiver rather than if this is 106, I think you did all right. If this becomes 109 or later, I think it really is going to stem on what happens from Trey Harris, if that makes sense, buddy.
All right. And then I'm also scrolling up back to get to it. We got next one coming in from Seth on Twitter, trade 16. We got one side with Marv and a pair of thirds, one this year and one in 2027. Other side with Penix, Igbuka, and a 26 first. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
Give me the Penix side. I mean, you get Penix, Igbuka, and the 26 first. I mean, we've been talking about
first.
Yeah, I've been talking about I like the value of Penix. Snoog likes Igbuka. You get the first in there. There are rosters where I think Snoog, though, you have Penix as your QB 4 or 5 because he was going at like 205 in some drafts, and you have Igbuka as your wide receiver 7, and you want to move up. If I'm doing that, though, I'm probably not tearing up to Marv. I'm tearing up to Amon-Ra, BTJ, a guy that's already done it. So I think 3 firsts is a lot to pay for Marv right now.
Yeah, I think you can even say more than 3 firsts because Penix, you could probably get a first and a second for him in Superflex, and then you get a Buka, the first, so too much.
All right, next one coming in from Silent Platy Pie on Twitter. One side with Jordan Addison and the 104. Other side with James Cook and the 106. Why are you giggling over there, Steve? Is this one of your trades?
No, because it's funny because I read it the same way when I was like putting them in.
So Addison 104. So we'll call that Hunter, or Cook 106, and we'll call that Judkins. Or do you want to call it
Hendo,
Ward, Henderson? I want
104.
See, I want Cook. I want Cook
Really?
106. Yeah, I do. I could see it working either way. But I mean, this is what makes it tricky, right? Is like I have Cook worth the 107 and I have Addison worth the 109. So it's like 104, 109 or 106, 107.
True. Or I don't want James Cook or Jordan Addison on any.
Well, that's what this trade's all about, though. Is like
So
you didn't.
I'm looking at it like I'm looking at it like a 27 first and 104 or a 27 first and 106.
You didn't. You cannot get a 27 first for Jordan Addison in any league. If somebody sends me that, please show me.
I've never owned him, so
I can't get a first for him in any league. I've offered him for 112, and I mean I think he's a solid wide receiver too. I just think Cook will put up RB1 numbers, and then I'm going to get Henderson where it's a pick your poison.
All right. Next one coming in from FJO Sports Cards over on Twitter. We got one side with Drake May, James Conner, Woody Marks, and then some scraps. Other side with Knicks, Jaden Blue, Najee, 27-2, 28.
Fourth.
Is that a fourth?
It's a 28 fourth. That. So, Snoog, it basically comes down to do you want May and Connor or Knicks, Najee, Blue in a second?
It's a free James Conner and everything else. I want May over that entire package.
Yeah, it's looking gross on that side.
I like Knicks wherever you can get him, but I think the gap between Knicks and May is more than that. So, I mean, if I could, Snoog, would you trade Drake May for Knicks in a first?
Yeah.
What about May in a second for Knicks in a first?
I want May. That's close though.
See, I think I want Knicks. If we could do May in a 26 second for Knicks in a 27 first, I want Bo Nix.
I just like with Bo Nix, it's just like what the heck is his ceiling gonna be? Like
He just was the QB7 though. Like that's the thing is Drake May is my highest dynasty ranking player that's outside my top 15 redraft. And Bo Nix is my lowest rated dynasty asset that's inside my top 10 redraft. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like mentally, if we just looked at it a little bit different, it would be quite interesting. But go ahead. We'll crank out the last couple here and get to our super chats. Our wheel of fortune.
I want to hit 30 tonight. I want to hit 30 tonight.
Jacob Nelson coming from Twitter is our next trade. We got one side. I don't know how he ended up in this. AJ Brown with Isaiah Davis. Other side with Olave and the 106. Snoog, which side do we like here?
Give me Chris Olave and the 106 here. Quick. If we hit 30, I'll give an extra rookie guide away. But I want Olave and the 106.
Yeah, I do too. I think you get Henderson at the 106 and it's worth it. Again, similar situation though is if I'm not all in contender, AJ Brown can win me a championship. Olave's one injury away from one headache, one concussion away from disappearing.
Honestly, trade 20 coming from GM671 over on Twitter. We got one side with Caleb, the 101, 201, and a 2 next year. Other side with Puka, Smitty, Richardson, and Kamara.
Give that one to him.
Dad.
No, give that one. Snoog, what do you like here?
That's a cowbell for me with the Caleb side. Caleb over Puka easily. 101 and 201 and a second over the rest of that package by far.
It's a fun trade, though. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's big and it tricks you because you're getting a lot of guys that like are good and can be really good. But it's
Doof is back. He's back.
Doof's trying to get us there. We appreciate it, Doofus or Doof 12.
Whoa! You just called him Doofus. He's never.
I held back.
That's messed up. Here we go. 21 from my man Funky Jenkins.
Funky Jenkins coming through. We got one side with a 27 first, 26 second, and the 302 this year. Other side with Laporta and a 26 third. Snoog, does it matter tight end premium or not?
I want the picks. I do not want Sam Laporta anywhere. I could
even
care
if this
less
is
for him.
even if this is a late 27 first, I think I'd do it and then use the 26 second to buy Isaiah Likely. No, just kidding. To buy Evan Ingram or Snoog turned around. He's like, did he say buy Isaiah Likely? We were just talking about that. Like, no.
I'm taking the 26 second I'm getting and my own 26 second and getting George Kittle, who's going to outscore Sam Laporta, and it's a free 27 first.
Good deal. All right, last one in here coming from FF Ken Expert over on Twitter. 2 more. We got one side with CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, a 27 first, Najee, Mixon, and a 26 third. Other side with BTJ, Kyler, Igbuka, Pitts, and Pollard.
I'll take this one. I told him it's the
math
Lamb
isn't
side.
mathing. Yeah,
I told him that it's the math. Like,
yeah.
This is one of those ones where you just keep throwing different names on there. When you look at this trade, when he sent it to me, I'm like, oh gosh, my head hurts. Because there's it's like a whole team on one side, a whole team but you get the best wide receiver, you get the best pick here, and then you get AJ Brown in there. It's definitely worth it. He said he didn't like giving up Kyler, but I'm sorry, you can replace Kyler.
Yeah. I think that's a smash for Lamb. I think it's a smash.
Last one in here coming from K2 in the Patreon. We got one side with Jefferson and Kincaid, other side with G. Willie, HN, and a 26 first. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
Well, welcome to the Patreon. I know that he just started in there this week, so I love when we can answer questions like that. This is Wilson comfortably for me. Wilson and A-Chain in the first. I love Jefferson, but I think you're getting a foundational wide receiver. You're getting a high upside wide running back in A-Chain. And the first, as long as it isn't 112, it's even. I think you have a lot of chances to win on this. The only way this trade doesn't go in your favor is if Dalton Kincaid balls out and gets you a top.
He only had 450 yards last year. I was shocked by that.
It was pretty gross.
Thought my eyes weren't working for a second. I didn't realize he was under 500 receiving yards. That's crazy.
Yeah, as you get this going, well, let's just read some of the comments here. We had Cheesehead. He drops in here all the time. Just Incredible says, let's go, cowbell. And a lot of you guys have been asking for actual cowbell, like, emojis. And you guys have been asking for different, even cowbell gifts when you're doing something like that. So you guys have made this so much fun. Thanks again for all you guys do. From Darren Bowling. Keep going. We have so many comments in here. It's absolutely crazy. Jay Frizzle says, appreciate you guys. Thanks for the help. We have Snoog. That wheel's going to take you a while here, isn't it?
I have it done.
I never see you like looking away from the screen and seem like you're doing it. Hey, you just somehow always have it done right when we finish.
It's already done.
Jamie's asking about the membership options. That is in our Patreon, patreon.com. Michael Hall says, killing it tonight, guys. Great stuff. Our guy Sleazeball says, hey, what's up, Jamie? Guys, so honestly, the community you guys are a part of is just, we love you guys on Twitter. We love you guys on YouTube. So thank you for everything. We're going to give away 3 rookie guides. Then we're going to we're giving away a basic, 3 rookie guides, and then at the end we'll pick from those 4 names to get into Smash Accept 20, which is our $200 high stakes league.
So I'm spinning 4 times.
4 times, and then okay. Keep those names, and then it'll go into the 5th.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just watching Justin Fields throw the football to Garrett Wilson. Get me excited.
He's throwing bombs.
Ready? Number 1.
Can we get Doof? We gotta get Doof.
We gotta get Doof.
Doof. He's yes.
Let's go.
Darth Twerk needs more cowbell. Let's do it.
All right, so remember that Doof 1-1, or I could just check results.
Yeah.
Doof again. No. Darren B. Yo, Chet's even excited. He's clapping just for that.
JJ Barenio.
All right. I think that's Keebers.
One more.
One more. There we go. Mr. Angel, here we go. All right, we got all 4. Let's give it a spin. Let's see who gets it. So this is for all of you guys have already won. You know, you guys we're gonna give away. The heck with it. I don't know who the basics even gonna give. We're gonna give away four VIPs. If you guys are not already in the Discord, we will give away 4 rookie guides because we love you guys. Let's see who gets that. Let's see who gets it right here. Let's see who gets it.
Is this for Smash 20 spot?
This is Smash 20.
That is.
Doof is the MVP of the night, man, with 4 super chats. So I mean,
I think he's gonna.
It's Keevers. All right, man.
JJ Barenio.
Guys, this was a fun show. Every single week, I joke around with these guys that we're gonna get more trades, more super chats, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever, Dad." Because I think there was a time there where Brock, I find these trades, I send them to the guys, and Brock's like, "Bro, you just sent 25 trades. Like, do you really think we're gonna do it?" And I'm like, "Yes, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it." And every single week it gets to be more, and we get them done faster. Brock, I love the way you host. It gets everything going. Snoog, honestly, this has just been such a fun experience every single Tuesday doing this. So, guys, help us out. You know, share this with your friends. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Thanks again for tuning in. And you could like it too if you want, and enjoy the process. Oh, we just got another super